Kiss 106, all the hits, and now it's time for Nino's movie review of the week. And this week's movie review is of The Hate U Give, starring Amanda Stenberg, directed by George Tillman Jr., written by Issa Rae, based on the book of the same name, The Hate U Give. And it's based on the life of a girl named Star Carter, played by Amanda Stenberg, who's a black teenage girl who grew up in a poor neighborhood of the city, being bused to one of the richer neighborhoods of the city so she can get a better education. And she finds herself having to live two different lives. One life, one personality she has to maintain while she's in their neighborhood around her, her childhood friends, and the other personality she has to put up and maintain while she's in the school that she attends. And then her friend gets shot. Her best friend gets shot, and no one knows that she's the witness. Her best friend gets shot at the hands of a police officer during a routine traffic stop gone bad. She has to decide whether or not she's going to testify on behalf of her deceased friend against the police officer or remain silent and stay safe. Because the drama begins once people find out that there's a witness to the shooting. People start taking sides, whether the side of the police officer, whether the side of the victim. Blue lives matter versus black lives matter versus all lives matter. And Star is finding herself in the middle of the dilemma of trying to figure out who her friends really are and who's actually on her side. Because some of her friends take positions, especially at the school that she goes to, take positions on the side of the police officer. And then people who she grew up with in her neighborhood take sides of the people, take sides of her friend, the victim. And then her mother doesn't want her to testify because she doesn't want all the drama that comes along with it, the death threats and things like that tend to happen to witnesses in these high profile cases. But Dad has a different opinion of his own. He wants his daughter to testify. You have to speak up on behalf of your friend because you're the only voice that he has. And she watches all of the divide develop between her friends and her family. They're picking sides. The neighborhood starts her up, and then when they finally figure out, that she's the witness before she testified, the people started pulling her in all different kinds of directions. Some people tell her she's not black enough and she doesn't want to testify, or she's not a real American if she doesn't feel the plight of the police officer. So there are many different elements to the story that fixate on the political environment and political atmosphere that's going on here in America, especially with all of the police shootings and the unarmed shootings and the violence that's going on. It takes a whole different perspective from the eyes of a young black teenager caught in the divide between those two worlds, the poor, lower class neighborhood that she goes to and the more wealthy, upper class neighborhood that she goes to for schooling. And she has to decide whether or not she's going to testify. And I'm not going to, spoil it for you, anything like that, but just the drama that unfolds. That's why they tell you sometimes you never talk politics or religion with friends and family if you want to keep them friends and family, because some of those personal opinions that she finds her friends expressing take her so by surprise. She was not ready, and on both sides of the issue. Some of her friends start taking stances that she didn't expect, that didn't want her to testify. Some wanted to testify. So, friends in the school telling her she needs to understand what the police officers are going through, while others are saying that she should side for the victims as they take a day off from school in order to protest. So there are many different elements, and it comes from many different perspectives, all centering in and focusing in and converging in on Star Carter. And she has to make that decision on whether or not she wants to testify or has to testify on behalf of her friend who was shot at the hands of a police officer during a traffic stop gone bad. And it is an absolutely spectacular movie, and I watched it at the Showplace Cinema Theaters with those reclining, leather chairs, the automatic reclining chair to go back. I thought I was going to fall asleep. I just knew. When they started showing the previews of the other movies and things, I kind of thought this movie, The Hate U Give, was going to be a slow, dramatic, drawn out kind of movie that was going to have me falling asleep maybe 30 minutes in. But no, 5 minutes into the movie, my eyes were wide open and I was laser beam focused on that movie screen. So even those comfortable chairs in Showplace Cinema couldn't take me away from this movie. So Nino gives it 2 thumbs up. The Hate You Give, directed by George Tillman Jr., written by Issa Rae on one of a book of the same name, The Hate You Give, starring Amanda Stenberg as Star Carter. Go check it out. Definitely worth the money. Take a friend with you because it's going to be a discussion afterwards. I'm telling you. Be sure to click the subscribe button and the notification bell underneath so you can get all the notifications on the upcoming movie reviews that we're going to do. It's your boy Nino, 106.1 KISS FM.